Welcome to a muzzled chat. Oh boy, I just had to interject right here because I went on a Lyme rant. Got a little heated, had to air some things, but I find it kind of important, so we're going to be leaving it in there. But I do not want to distract from this episode. This episode is so powerful for those that are suffering, whether it's Lyme disease, depression, you name it. We have a doctor on this episode that speaks out on Western medicine and the problems. And she speaks so confidently in getting to the roots of issues, actual treatments that become healing and real solutions for those that are suffering from all sorts of ailments. We need to get back to that. There is no magical pill. God has given us everything on this beautiful earth to, yes, even fight against bioweapons that have been created. So there's extreme value to this episode. Check it out. We told you we're bringing you the depths of the AO scan, and here it is in all its glory. Very in depth. And I got nothing to hide. It's all my information, but it's important that we all find solutions to proper diagnosing and then proper treatment protocols that lead us on a path to recovery and healing. No more Band-Aids. And I believe this clinic, Unchained Wellness Clinic, is it. They found it. They've put it together. And they're offering all our listeners an amazing little package. For anyone that wants to call and schedule and check them out, they're offering them a free sauna and a free cold plunge. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. What in fact they do, I feel, is a godsend, and it is going to help a great and many people. I feel what they're onto needs to be spread, not just through the nation on local levels, but throughout the world. Let's help them do just that. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Now, it's been a minute since I've done my own Lyme disease update. In this episode, it's going to be intertwined, like my Lyme disease and a potential solution with the Unchained Wellness Clinic. I'm so grateful how God has aligned things in my life, so at least things aren't stagnant. There's hope, and that's what we all should be striving for, connecting to what breathes light and hope into our lives. This is going to be challenging with my two pups chewing on bones. To anyone struggling with Lyme disease or any chronic illness, hang on. I know there are great solutions coming around just that corner, and then there'll be more solutions around the next. Lyme disease is a stubborn one, and it's freaking driving me nuts. It is such a pain to eradicate. And the lack of awareness and knowledge is the biggest issue of it all. Because how are people going to effectively even show up on my behalf as I'm dealing with it? You're not done with it till you're done with it. And even when you have a breakthrough, it seems this crafty bioweapon so effective that you trip up, you do something you shouldn't have, or something potentially happens futuristically, and it flares right back up. I want everyone to understand and think on for a second. Just the fact of 500,000 Americans in North America alone this last year got diagnosed with Lyme disease. 500,000. That's more than breast cancer and HIV combined. And I know it's the most misdiagnosed and undiagnosed disease known to man. So think on that for a second. Why are we not educated? I personally feel because it's a bioweapon and it's intentionally being swept under the rug. That's me speaking unmuzzled. And we've connected those dots. We can connect those dots more in the future, but that's beside the point. Could you potentially be suffering from Lyme disease? Is your immune system suppressed? Are you dealing with any levels of brain fog, mono-esque symptoms, lethargic, tired, depression or depressive thoughts, suicidal thoughts? Are you lacking motivation? Have the things you used to enjoy lost their luster? are dealing with pains and aches throughout the body, like arthritic pains. Lyme disease mimics over 300 other illnesses, all immune related. Well, I'm not here to get too crazy in the weeds about Lyme disease. I'm just flustered because, damn it, so many are struggling with this disease, and I'm chatting with them in the groups, and they need help. They need support. They need love. They need financial assistance. It's just not there for this disease, for this bioweapon. In ways, it sucked everything from me and stolen my life in a huge way. And in a way, through seeking a relation through God is the only way I've been able to not just come to terms, but even amongst some of the greatest challenge times, be grateful for this horrific disease and everything. But that's a little out of the mortal ability I have in this moment to really speak out on that type of light, because I'm fed up. Now, it seems in this podcast, touching on the bigger picture to bring solutions even to this disease, because as we identify effectively corruption in the world, then we should be able to not just cancel out biowarfare from continually happening, but we should also seek accountability for the biowarfare that's already been had. And then the solutions for all of those suffering from the effects of those biological weapons. But it just doesn't seem to be grabbing the attention and gaining the traction we need. So maybe we just need to shift, dial back, focus more on the symptom-based situation versus the bigger picture, whatever it's going to take. Because I'm not the only one at times at their wit's end and financially burdened with seemingly no way out. There are hundreds of thousands with this disease. Dare I say millions. I really feel if we nailed down a cheap, effective testing, more people would have it than in fact don't. Well, why isn't it fully manifesting within them? Well, it could be dormant. Their immune system, like mine for over 30 years, could have effectively been fighting it off in this time, and things aren't going chronic, but it's a ticking time bomb, and it's only a matter of time. And yes, everyone's co-infections are different. Their genetic makeup is different. So generally, it's just going to impact everyone differently. But it's a biological weapon nonetheless, and it wreaks havoc, and it can lead to cancers and death and suicide and so many other horrific things. So let's get on board. Now, all that being said, I want to breathe light and hope into anyone struggling with Lyme disease. But as I've sat here editing, let's rewind a bit. We all know the episode, or hopefully you know about the Unchained Wellness episode that we did. Let's pull her up. Right here, Unchained Wellness Clinic. Could this be the solution you're looking for or need? They address so many things. It's not just chronic illness. It's not just depression. They are really honing in on the solutions for us all to become our better selves and live happy, intentional, positive lives. I'd even venture to say the most active athletes could benefit from a lot of what they provide. So in that episode, I talked about, and if you haven't seen this episode, be sure to watch this episode before this one even, or bounce back and forth however you see fit. But I mentioned that I went through and had this AO scan. Now, to some of you, to listen to the details of the AO scan, you may find boring and of lack of interest. That's fine. Fast forward through it, because I'm here to tell you there is a bombshell interview with their doctor speaking out on Western medicine that I will play a teaser of her for you here in just a minute, just a snip of light and hope of her speaking out with confidence on cures and getting to the root of the issues. But at minimum, fast forward to that if you don't find interest to the AO scan. But this testing to me really feels like a godsend. It goes in incredible depths. And what's freaking crazy is the results parallel so much of my lab work. So to me, it speaks to the credibility of the testing itself being accurate. Could it be that this AO scan is one of the most, if not the most affordable solution for us all to really hone in on the ailments and issues and roots of the problems that we're dealing with in our daily lives? Could it be that this particular testing, in fact, hones on deeper levels most other testing cannot? From my own experience, proper diagnosing is freaking key. It is crucial. Without it, what are you doing? Wasting time, wasting energy, wasting money, all things that are precious to us. Western medicine has failed us. I am so grateful for clinics like this and doctors like this that are willing to, how should we put it, second guess, not even second guess, they'll even speak out on being in remission from their indoctrination through their medical degrees. Are you grasping that? Because it's just a big pharma indoctrination camp. It's not about wellness, it's about business. And the doctors that tend to have a heart, in a matter of time, they tend to get that. But some stay trapped within the confines with the medical licensing and everything to only administer what they're allowed, and then some break out of the mold and get into naturopathics, get into homeopathics and remedies that have been around for thousands and thousands of years. We must get to the root of our issues. Life is worth living. Life is worth fighting for. Here on Unmuzzled Chat, and I know with the Unchained Wellness Clinic, we're here to help in any way we can. And I truly feel for those that want to see big breakthrough, Unchained Wellness Clinic is, in fact, the solution. I am thoroughly impressed with the owner, Mason, his wife, Dr. Berni, everyone I have met that works there. I know their heart is in the right place. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of this episode. So once again, we're going to put just a teaser of Dr. Berni. Then we're going to go into the details. Now, I have nothing to hide. They're going to bring up everything that AO scan brings up, and it's a lot. And it goes in depth, but it's incredible. And then we did a voice thing as well, but that's just a prelim kind of testing. The AO scan's the thing that goes real in depth. Then after the sit down with Dr. Berni, I did include a little segment with none other than Mason in the end, but it's chopped up a bit. I couldn't include the thing in its entirety, but if you want to see the full length conversation, it's in the other episode of Unchained Wellness. But I found it a level of importance to bring that in because Mason discusses the why this business, why this clinic. And I find that to be crucial to add to this episode. So with that being said, enjoy the episode, and maybe I'll have a clip I'll see on the tail end of it.
Yep. Because this will help people that have some of the same things that you have to know that they can be cured.
Okay.
Because many things that these scans show, your medical doctor will say, we can't cure this, but I can.
What did she just say? Come on now, that's super exciting stuff. I'm telling you, these are special folks. and they're onto something, and they are solely here to help others. Stay tuned. Enjoy Mason diving in on the AO scan in all the depths.
Cool. Well, it's your show. I mean, I guess we're here to help your health. You know, I know your audience knows what you're struggling with, but just to recap for me, what you're struggling with, and then I can tell you kind of what the scan's going to be able to point out, and we'll just go through this process of going through the scan and explaining it, and then have the doctor read it, and
Awesome.
then and show you kind of what we can do with, you know, accurate pinpoint information about your body, comprehensive information, so we're not guessing about kind of what's going on in your body, but we can attack it with knowledge and understanding how all of these other parts play in a role, like how your gut health affects your mental health and vice versa, and how viruses and molds and toxins kind of can stop communication in your nervous system.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Okay. So I got all your information loaded in the AO scan.
AO scan.
Yeah,
Okay.
AO scan. And briefly in a summary, before the scan reads your resonant frequencies of your organs and cells. And so this is an energetic information about your body. It's not chemistry based. It's not, you know, like a typical blood test would come back with chemistry that they tested.
Okay.
This is more of a energy on your body, like chakras and cheese, or chakras and meridians.
Okay.
Kind of how they're kind of like your circuit breakers of your body.
Cool.
So they've documented and cataloged 120,000 or more of these frequencies of your body.
Oh, wow.
Every cell type in your body has an engine, and it's called the mitochondria.
Right.
And that mitochondria has a unique frequency that it operates under. Much similar to like a car engine.
Okay.
Like a Toyota Corolla sounds different than a Porsche 911.
Right.
Those are two extreme examples, but very similar.
Makes sense.
And so in that same concept, our mitochondria have different, every cell has a different resonant frequency that it emits from. So our scan, the AO scan, tracks that and can tell if you're in range or out of range.
Cool.
So if you're either stressed, if it's overworking, whether it's working in the optimal range, or if it's sluggish and lethargic and just kind of clogged up with
Wow. All right.
with things.
Well, I'm anxious to see what comes back from it. Now, I don't know what we might do is to gathering content and kicking this off, whether I'll be in studio or not. But I'm really grateful to be here. I'm really excited to be here. This is Unchained Wellness.
Yeah, Unchained Wellness Clinic.
Unchained Wellness Clinic. I'm actually sitting with Mason himself.
Yeah.
And I guess this is just a taste as to everything you offer here. That being said, I hope to gather pretty much all you guys are doing on behalf of other people to help optimize their lives and their health and just help leading to breakthrough. Yeah, with that, I'm ready to kick things off, man.
All right. So the first process of this scan is just to get your voice profile. We record your voice saying 20 seconds of anything. All right. Here's your microphone.
Okay.
Again, just start by saying, I am James Geddes. And that's kind of a very powerful affirmation of like who you are.
Okay.
And then 20 seconds of, it could be gibberish, it could be what you're struggling with, it could be what you did, what's your morning routine. So 20 seconds.
So when you tell me to go, I start with, I am James Geddes, and then I continue.
Yes, continue.
20 seconds, and you'll cut me off.
Yeah. Yep.
I am James Geddes. I consider myself a patriot, just doing what I can on behalf of my fellow human beings in this world today, showing up on the front lines, trying to secure a future, not just for this country, but for the world as we know.
Perfect. Okay. On this camera, I will take a little video. So here is your audio file. There's 12 notes that are, or tones that are recorded and cataloged. And you've got 2 that are elevated, meaning the kind of excited or anxious. Mm-hmm. And then 1 that is super depressed or suppressed, not depressed, but suppressed. So what this program does is basically it takes these two and it gives us information about it, and then it has a report. So I'm going to email this to you real quick. For example, the one that's super elevated, this F, this one, this is the report on that tone. And these are potential physical ailments that are caused by this emotional friction in your emotional state.
Wow.
So you have anger versus acceptance of change. Potential, there's something in your voice that the program can pick up that you've got. It could be more anger or more acceptance of change. But there's a rub there. There's a friction that causes, and sometimes you could cause small intestines, nervous system issues, stomach acid, hypothalamus issues, pituitary issues, hearing, neurological process, sympathetic nervous system, and the list goes on.
Wow.
Then potential emotional issues is couch potato, poor prioritizer. What I emailed to you is 4 tones, and the tone that helps offset this emotional conflict in you is C.
Wow.
And then the report gives you some other things to read about and consider. It's not a counselor or anything, but you'll find, I would love your feedback when you get the report and you can read it, whether or not any of that speaks true to your kind of psychological, emotional state. We're big believers that emotions can lead to dysregulation that can cause physical issues.
100%.
So, but we needed to do that first scan in order to get to the next scan, which is okay. So we're accepting that, and we're moving on to the next scan. The next scan is called the vital scan. We need this bone connecting headset.
Bone connecting?
Bone connecting. So it doesn't go over your ears.
Okay.
But it goes over your cheekbones.
Oh.
So just like that.
Okay.
Okay? So over your earlobes in here, and you want to be on your jaw. We want to be on your jawbone.
Okay.
Up here, anywhere here.
Okay.
Okay? And then what that does is that receives and sends the frequencies.
Means to be on a bone?
Yeah. So we're going to do is scan you twice. We're going to do the initial scan, and then what's called optimize. We're going to optimize the scan and then scan you again.
Okay.
And you should hear kind of buzzing in the background. And so I'll see that. And the images are just 3D stock images, but it kind of gives you a picture of like all the systems that it's testing.
It's all through frequency.
Yeah. Because if your energetic state is out of whack, then it can affect you physically. And vice versa. If you're out of whack physically, then it affects you energy-wise. Like if you got a virus or Lyme disease or some sort of thing that's clogging up all your cellular energy, then it's an issue. Okay, so the initial scan's done, and then we're going to rescan and optimize. This one takes a little bit longer. It's pretty cool. This shows your blood profile, your lipids, your cholesterol, your hormones in your blood. It can pick up gastrointestinal functionality, all sorts of gut biome information. It picks up chakras and meridians, and that kind of tells us where you are in emotional state. It picks up nutritional analysis, so like amino acids, your pancreas and your gallbladder function, your liver function, all laid out for you.
Very in depth.
Yep.
This is the test your doctor has over the results of one of them.
Yep. So we'll get this report, and then the doctor will go over the report and then kind of assess what's causing kind of your issues.
Right.
We can see more comprehensively all at once.
Wow.
Historically, people got to go get blood tests or this test and that test and then put them all together. But doctors really aren't trained. They're trained to look at the blood tests and see what's going on there. But they're not trained to look at 3 or 4 different tests at the same time and give a kind of a comprehensive assessment of what's going on.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah, the toxins are like allergens, heavy metals, molds, parasites, bacteria, viruses. Again, all those things can just wreak havoc on a body's immune response and communication and nervous system.
Golly, I wonder, in comparison as to how many tests this is ruling out, blood-wise and everything, it's probably the whole gauntlet.
I mean, as you see here, you've got HDL, you've got blood lipids, all sorts of stuff. So I'm not sure if you how recently you've done your blood tests. And you certainly don't. We don't have to show this if you don't want your private information out there. But and so like your CBC, yeah, I am not 100% sure what all these mean, but your monocytes are sky high. Your platelets, RBC, RWC. I don't know what those acronyms mean, but the doctor's going to be all over that. But then you've got down here your fatty acids, probably because you've been on a carnivore diet, are just all green. Look, this is all good, normal.
Wow.
Your saturated total is a little high. Is there anything that you kind of want to dial in here?
Yeah,
so digestive, so gastric absorption. This means that it's stressed out. So so we can look at that, what that means. And that word is a little above beyond my pay grade. Intraluminal pressure. Small intestine nutrient absorption is high. So it looks like it's over-absorbing. So it just tells you tons of stuff.
What is this test called?
This is called the AO scan.
AO.
The AO. I don't know what the AO stands for, but it does. So Meridian's nutritional analysis. So these are your amino acids. You're deficient in asparagine, glutamate acid, glycine, isoleucine, leucine, and tryptophan. And so this information kind of tells us, okay, well, these make up all our proteins, right? This amino acids are the building blocks for protein. So if you don't have if you're deficient in some of these, then you may not be making the right protein for your body. These are enzymes, digestive enzymes. You're high in Maltese, macro minerals. So magnesium, do you supplement with magnesium?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're high here. And sodium. You drink Celtic salt?
Trisalts.
Trisalts, okay.
Yes. And I even just added a friggin' salt mixture to this here too.
So that's showing high, which is normal if that's you're supplementing for that. And then you're showing high in iron and lithium, low in chromium, borine, and iodine, and selenium. And then these are your B complexes. So you're high in this B3. Again, that could be a component of a supplement you're taking.
Okay.
And then it does check for the mother effer gene. So the MTHFR you are positive for, and the MTFHR, this version of it, you're positive for, which then tells me that you probably need to take a methylated form of all your supplements or take an enzyme that helps you methylate, because if you can't break down and process food into the usable form that your body can use it in, then it's just being pooped out.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Gary Brecka is huge. Do you know Gary Brecka?
Yes, I do.
He's huge on methylation. And methylation is basically the process of like oil refining. You can't just use crude oil out of the ground and put it in your car. You got to process it and change it a little bit to put it as gasoline or diesel in your car. Even motor oil is processed.
Right.
Similar concept.
So like digestive enzymes?
Digestive enzymes.
I've been taking a digestive enzyme by Dr. Berg.
But specifically for this specific gene, you have to have a specific enzyme to help break down food, and that way you can process things. Okay, calcification. So you got some cardiovascular issues. So cerebrovascular blood oxygen pressure. These are all high. This is all stuff in your brain. You got saturation level, oxygen volume level. Interesting. Which would speak to your neurological issues.
It's no joke.
Your collagen for your bone is high.
I genuinely wonder how much the frequencies we're bombarded with attributes to all of this.
There are some factors in terms of like just EMF. EMFs and other things can regulate or change your frequencies.
Are we going to run another one of these?
No, you're good.
Are you taking them?
So anyways, yeah, cool stuff. Let me just look at the toxins. We don't really focus on a lot of allergies, but this is where she'll focus a ton of time. You've got some bacteria. You got that. Let's see.
The beast.
Borrelia.
Borrelia.
Yeah, H. pylori. There's another thing that people get tons. That causes a lot of dysregulation in your gut. Then you got more tuberculosis, rickettsia, staphylococcus. You got some candida overgrowth and valley fever. As this trace thing. Human toxins. Now, this is where it kind of gets crazy because you can absorb the energy frequencies and it can be kind of in your body for a lot of this stuff. So, like, if I'm hanging out with somebody that recently smoked pot and they breathe on me, it could come up here as drug, recreational.
Interesting. Yeah, what would the alcohol?
That also could be just your methylation process. You could have just an excess amount of alcohol as a byproduct of your human process.
Okay.
If you don't drink.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, heavy metals, you got nickel, palladium, and silver. Molds, you got 5 molds.
Wow.
Everybody has some sort of mold, right? Because this could be a ton or it could be a small amount. And so depending on your intake with the doctor and your symptoms, she'll address the most critical thing to you. So if you go over the symptoms that are concerning you or that you're most worried about, she'll look through the scan and say, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, this can contribute to that. And she'll break it down and kind of attack the most critical things to get rid of your most pressing. So here's more parasites and here's viruses. So hepatitis A, human herpes, influenza A, and parainfluenza, and parainfluenza. So that is the report.
Wow. Have you ran these back to back yourself? Does it seem to be rock solid and steady?
It does. I mean, you can change, obviously, things. This is just a scan at that moment. So you walk out the door, you get sun, you get grounded, you drink water, you take supplements. That's gonna change, kind of
Fluctuate some.
Yeah. So we do, like in our program, you get scanned. Then 2 months later, after you've done some protocols with us, we scan you again to see kind of where we've moved, and then we can scan you again in a month to kind of see how things. So, tell me more about your diagnosis. Were you tested for Lyme, obviously?
Yeah, but it was through a lot of the specialty labs, like IGenX and a few of those others.
Okay.
And it took, I don't know, a slew of certain, I mean, I forget all the terminology, but the IgG and IgM is it? Like, so there's the active and then the historical markers of it being present. And I don't know, they just kind of like put it all together to determine whether or not it's Lyme or something else, or if it's, and I've had, 5 probably different doctors now hone in on Lyme with me. So,
diagnosing something from chemistry is tough because you have kind of this range of whether it's going to show up or not, and the markers could be affected by your chemistry. I have faith in their tests, so I don't want to knock any of those test results. But maybe the things that you've been doing have been working, and now it's something else. Maybe it's something else that's causing some of your issues. So,
I know we've like circled back to mold and metals and things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, and those definitely are popping up.
Right.
So moving on. So this is the third component of the scan. This goes into like your physical components of your body. This intelligence scan uses the previous scan, the vitals. So anything that came in red or blue, anything that was low or high, or hey, you're not in range, we'll put these in a scan list and scan this again and then dial deeper into your nerves, your ligaments, your bone structure, your you can dive deeper into that. So if you've got time, I'd love to do this full scan on you.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So the vitals, so push that. So it populated everything that came in red and potential issues. So we're going to scan your arteries, your connective tissues,
Wow.
left, right, and something else, your heart arteries, organs. Okay, so we got a list of all these things that we're going to scan.
Pretty long list.
And within every one of those, there's going to be like a chart like this.
Wow.
So in your head right now, your artery heads. I mean, we talk about your anterior cerebral artery.
What scans do in
and
this
so let's do your headphones again. I lied.
That's what this does?
Yep. That's where I do this. And again, it knows where that location is, or the brain knows where it is. And so we're going to use the brain and the nervous system and the communication that exists between cells to determine kind of all of this stuff.
Wow.
So, I'm going to scan you. So, again, it will scan all these parts of your body. And it's going to come up with things are stressed, in range or out of range.
Looks real in depth.
Yeah, it is super in depth. And then, boom, those are your numbers. First glance, and there's no red, there's a couple of oranges. Okay, this is your, looks like your right knee. Do you have any issues with your right knee?
Real bad.
Okay.
That's trippy.
Okay, so it picked up something going on there. And that patella bursa is blowing up. And you'll have all these in PDF.
Crazy.
So that it kind of goes by fast right here. So 7 is the highest. Popular.
Yeah, I don't have much pain in my left, but my right.
And how about your spine?
It's been all right lately, but there's times that all of it's pretty bad. It can be neck and lower at times.
Looks pretty good. You got some issues. So we could send that to a chiropractor and they would be able to pinpoint some treatments instead of just a generic treatment. You could say, okay, these are off.
Yeah, there were times it was just so stiff and so much pain in it. Like even in the rib cages and stuff, like laying down and getting up or turning over was grunting.
Oh, wow. Okay. So again, cut your heart away. Again, pretty good. Your right ventricle is stressed out. Your valves, the aortic valve, stressed out, and your left AV. This is the nerves of the brain. Remember that 8 and 9s are critical, and then 1s and 2s are critical. They're not critical, but those are the most out of range. So your 3 nerves sections show up. Lumbar plexus is your adrenal cross sections. In your other report, your estrogen was off. I can't remember if it was low or high, but I remember it was off. Okay, blood cells, looks pretty good there. Oh, except that one, macrophage. If you notice on the report, you'll see down here on the bottom, it says percent from ideal. The lower the number, the better. So you're 23% from ideal, meaning that you're 80 or 77% good. So that's a number like that we like to see move on a kind of a collective area. I can kind of take a note. You're pretty much in the 25th percentile on average. So you're 75% from, or 25% from ideal. So this is your large intestine, which governs a lot. But the liver. The liver's an amazing organ. It filters out so many things. It's responsible for a ton. And we abuse the heck out of it.
Right, we sure did. Knowingly, I don't know, ignorantly.
Yeah, half the stuff on the scan, I couldn't tell you what is. I'm not a doctor. But I do know that it's fascinating to understand that, if you've got an ache or pain, that this is going to find it. It's crazy. Here's your scalp. Pancreas is another super important gland. Because you hit the 7s and 2, it brought it into the scan.
How long has this been available, this testing?
Came out with this in, I want to say, like 2010, 2008. It's been a while. Yeah, technology has been around for a while. So where he got this is Nikola Tesla and his work on frequencies. If you study him at all, you know that he said the the more you learn about physics, the more you understand that everything's about frequencies and energy. Because he tested like bridges have collapsed because wind will vibrate and make it move at a certain frequency, and it will just destroy the bridge.
Right.
Or earth at a certain frequency will just liquefy.
Right.
So there's examples in real world applications of physical things being completely transformed because of some sort of frequency that can change it. So Nikola Tesla, Dr. Reif, have you heard of Reif frequencies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then a couple other German and Russian scientists. The guy that has patented this collected all of these different doctors and all their work and have kind of put this into a scan. And his main motivation was he had several children that were adopted but were all special needs, and he wanted to do everything he could to find out why they were the way they were, why they were born that way, if there's anything that he could do about it. And so a lot of our equipment here, at least the theta bed, the red light bed, were designed to help those children live more fulfilling lives. So he had a kid that was CP that had little to no auditory response and was able to learn 5 languages, speaks normal now, he can work, he can function, like he has a pretty good life because of this technology and the things that we can do with neuroplasticity. Okay, so that report is done. Okay, so do you want to go on the road now, so to speak?
That'd be awesome. Take a bit of a tour of the facility.
Yeah, tour of the facility.
Wow. I told you that AO scan was really in depth. There's a lot to it. Could it potentially lead to your next breakthrough? There is clearly extreme value to this scan, and at its price point, I don't know anything that could provide such depth at that cost. Now, if you want the tour of the facility, as Mason was just talking about, be sure to check out the other episode of Unchained Wellness where we actually did the tour of the facility. We unfortunately do not have time to add that into this one. So we're going to go ahead and transition into the chat with Dr. Berni. What an amazing doctor.
Just here at Unchained Wellness with Dr. Berni to go over the results of that really cool
AO scan.
AO scan.
An AO scan with little probes placed on your temples reads the brain and tells me everything that's going on in your body. Everything. Every illness, every allergy, every mineral, everything.
Wow.
And it's amazing. And I never believed in it, but once I tested it and checked it out and did a scan on myself, I'm a believer.
Okay.
This stuff works.
Wow.
It works. It's amazing. It is totally amazing. I don't know how I ever took patients without this for so many years. This cuts to the chase, and that's it. No questions asked.
Leaves out a lot of the guesswork from what I'm hearing and all the reviews and what people are stating. Yeah. Okay.
No guesswork at all. I mean, it's just no guesswork.
Really in depth.
So to get to this really quick, I went through your scan, and if you do not mind me mentioning what is going on.
I don't mind you mentioning everything.
Sure about that.
Yes. Yeah. You can mention everything. Yep.
Because this will help people that have some of the same things that you have to know that they can be cured.
Okay.
Because many things that these scans show, your medical doctor will say, we can't cure this.
Wow.
But I can, because I'm a homeopath, and beside the fact that I get all my medicine from London, this stuff can be cured.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay.
I take a lot of STDs and cure them when normally you can't be cured. I take so many things. Everything from valley fever to you name it, and we cure it.
Well, you've been at it for some time.
Since 1994.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Well educated.
Pretty much. I know the medicines pretty well. I know what to do, yeah. Only failed one time in my whole history of medicine because I didn't fail. The parents did not want this particular patient to be cured. So they fired me and the patient died.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I was on a run, man. I was helping that patient
Wow.
who had lung cancer.
Lung cancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they took me out, so took the medicine away, and 2 weeks later the patient was dead. So that's not failing, it's like bad news.
See, that's where, to our listeners, we're really grateful to getting any doctors
Yeah.
to speak out on, because it's these more so alternate medicines, not Western medicine, that are getting to the root of issues and actually helping people.
Yes.
Stepping out of, I mean, there may be a place and time for certain pharmaceuticals, but those, to say the least, are a Band-Aid for the most part.
Yeah. Western medicine doesn't cure you.
Right.
It suppresses your illnesses.
Right.
You know.
Wow. That's well said. Coming from a doctor.
Well, unless they're a surgeon.
Right.
Heart doctors, surgeons.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Dr. Berni, we are with you.
I hate to say that, but you know, might as well let the truth be known. All right, so here we go. You have some of these I'm not concerned with, and we could just eliminate the medicine for them because anything else I give you will cure it.
Okay.
So you have hepatitis A. I'm not concerned about that.
Okay.
You have parainfluenza. Very, very easy to cure. It's a heavy-duty bacteria, but we have the medicine for it. And a lot of times I will treat like with like. So if you have bacteria of some sort, I will give you what's called bacteria because it covers all the bacterias. It'll just knock them out, which is the case with the next thing, human herpes virus. So if you have the human herpes virus, I'm going to give you a medicine called human herpes because it's taken from the herpes and symptoms, disease, and it is removed of all the toxins so that when I give you the medicine called herpes, because it's from the disease, the brain thinks we have herpes, we need to knock this out, and the body will come to its own defense with the help of the brain to clear this from the nervous system, which nobody can do. That's why your Western medicine can't do it, because it is lodged in your nervous system as a virus, which is the case with a lot of things. And people are going, that's why they can't get well. Wow. That's why doctors can't cure them. Once it hits the nervous system as a virus, they don't know what to do with it.
Wow.
They've lost it. They don't know what to do.
Okay.
So being that this is an energy medicine, the brain can deal with it. So it's no toxins, but it is the medication for the reason, for all the symptoms, for the reason, and it can be cured. Now, depending on the length of time it takes, I don't know. That's up to your body. So it can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Is that herpes? I mean, that gets so often related with this, what do you call it, sexually transmitted diseases? Yeah. Is that part of that
no,
group? That's different.
No, it's not an STD.
Okay.
Herpes is not an STD.
Okay.
Herpes is herpes.
Okay.
You might have had in your lifetime a cold sore on your lip.
Yeah.
You might have had pimples and bacteria, elsewhere in your body. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
The fact is, you have it. If you have it, it doesn't matter where you got it from. We want to get rid of it.
Right.
Because herpes can be contracted coming down the birth canal, being born.
Okay.
Because maybe your mom had it, or your dad had it, or your grandmother, whatever. So it's kind of in the DNA type of situation.
Okay.
But it's easy. It's easy to deal with.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
We can handle that. That's no big deal. You do have a lot of different diseases as far as Staphylococcus, which is a very, very heavy-duty bacteria. The medicine I treat is called Staphylococcus. That's what I treat with. And it knocks that out. So relative to herpes, Staphylococcus is like a baby. I can knock it out.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Here's what bothers me the most. You have valley fever in your...
Okay.
Now, you might sometimes feel real tired.
Yes. Real
dragged. I don't want to do anything. I know I got to get up and I got to do this, but, oh man, just give me a few more minutes. I just am not with it.
Yeah.
And that's, that sometimes with some people, you'll lose your focus. You won't be able to remember from 1 minute to the next what you've done or did or want to do. Or sometimes it's high anxiety, and you have, maybe you'll have heart palpitations, maybe not, but you'll feel anxious, things like that. So valley fever it's pretty nasty as far as what it does to make you feel low. There's a lot of different things that make you feel low when you have this.
Okay.
Some people run a temperature and some people don't. I had valley fever, never ran a fever, ever.
Wow.
Never. Always wanted to sleep, always. Could never get well.
Right.
But when we treat with valley fever, I give you a medicine called coccidioidomycosis, which is valley fever. That's the technical term for valley fever. And I'll tell you what, that works so fast. My dog had valley fever. The vet didn't know what to do except give her an antibiotic. I took her home and gave her coccidioidomycosis.
Yeah.
Knocked it out in 1 week.
How did you tell your dog had valley fever?
I brought her to the vet and said, test her blood. She's not right.
Right.
Yeah. The AO scan is also for animals. We can do animals as well.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to bring my dog and get this.
So valley fever isn't, with what you're saying, it's pretty easy to treat and knock out.
Because if you go to the doctor, what they're going to give you is a fungal medicine for valley fever. And that's not going to cure anything. So you're just going to get more and more sick, and more until you are like pretty wiped out. And then, I might be the big guy in the sky. I don't know. I have to tell you one thing that I missed. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to like this.
Okay.
So you have a bacterial disease that I know you're familiar with. It's called Borrelia burgdorferi.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
It's part of Lyme.
It is Lyme.
Yeah.
Borrelia burgdorferi is the spirochete that the deer tick spits into you, which is a corkscrew, goes into the bloodstream, creates a cocoon where gajillions of little spirochetes live until it explodes. Now you've got a gajillion spirochetes running around in your blood system. And that's how you get so sick with Lyme, because those little guys produce their own cocoons, and it's a never-ending story.
Right. Past the blood-brain barrier, infiltrate everywhere throughout the body, cause neurological and pain and lethargic. Everything.
Could put you in a
wheelchair. Suppress your
wheelchair.
immune system. Could be the precursor to cancers and 300 other illnesses. Yeah.
Borrelia burgdorferi is the spirochete, so you might as well just say, well, if it's there.
Well, I'm glad we're talking on that one, because I know, we've been fighting that for some time.
Yeah. People do not understand. Yes, your doctor cannot cure Lyme. They don't know the first thing about curing Lyme disease. We as homeopaths have the right medicine for the problem. That's how we cure it. Because doctors don't know what to do with Lyme.
Right.
That's why people don't believe we have a cure. Because they've been told by their doctors, we can't help you. Go home. You're going to live with us until you die.
Right.
So they believe that.
Right.
Then they join their little Lyme groups and live happily ever after.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's been suppressed in Western medicine for so long now. It's not even until recently the CDC is even acknowledging Lyme disease as a chronic illness.
Yeah, right.
And so it's through the awareness we've slowly been bringing the solutions to the forefront.
And what solution? Your doctor doesn't have a solution.
That's just it. They over 30 years of my life, they misdiagnosed and undiagnosed me with that being the root of the issue. So it finally led to, with me, it becoming chronic, to where it became life-threatening. I couldn't function. My life wasn't worth living, but I white-knuckled, fought through, found doctors such as yourself, got the Lyme positive diagnosis. I didn't know what that path really was going to mean for me, but it gave me a path. So it gave me some hope. It gave me something, right? It gave me these groups. It gave me these other people I could relate to. And that's where we got to up the awareness. We got to really hone in on the solutions, because I know so many that are suffering, and we still blindly entrust in the white lab coats of Western medicine to our own detriment, because they've been indoctrinated in a way to just feed big pharma and not recognize the real problems.
So you've been diagnosed with Lyme.
Yeah.
Well, here's the proof. It's here.
There's the proof.
Unbelievable. These scans are unreal.
I've been fighting. That is unreal.
Isn't it?
I mean,
it's right here.
So, wow, this is a crazy moment, because we had to do IGeneX lab testing. That was like $1,400
The Western
4 years
lot.
ago. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Since then, on labs, I've spent
Oh my
easily
God.
over $10,000 on labs alone. On labs alone. And you have a machine right here instantaneously that can give people proper diagnosing.
Yeah.
That is huge.
See? It says Borrelia burgdorferi right here. And it's high.
That is huge.
So there it is.
Yeah.
Positive.
Wow.
It's amazing. That's what makes me believe in these things, when people
Yeah.
actually tell me, oh yeah, I've got that.
100%. Yeah. It's been tough even for IGeneX. Like, for certain doctors, some of the blood work is more definitive with Lyme than others.
Mhm.
You know, they kind of had to read through the cracks.
Yeah.
And
But a lot of the lab tests come back equivocal, which means they don't know.
right.
Maybe you have it, maybe you don't.
Yes.
Same thing with valley fever. We don't know. We're not sure. Maybe you do.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and how come they can't spot that? I mean, what are they not doing right with a blood test that they can't spot these things?
Wow.
What good are the blood tests if they don't know?
Wow. That's where I would say to all the listeners, like, at what point are we going to actually stop meeting the very definition of insanity?
Yeah.
Where we're doing the
Yeah.
same things,
Yeah.
same things, and not getting freaking better.
Well, see, and then on the other side of the coin, your doctor will say, no, maybe this is all in your head, so we're going to give you some medicine.
Make us to be the issue. That's,
Right.
I got something to say to those docs.
Yeah, right?
They were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't just conjure up
Yeah.
that exhaustion,
Exactly.
the inability to speak, the pain in my
Right.
body, the neurological difficulties, the suicidal tendencies,
Yeah.
the depressive thoughts.
Depression. Yeah.
It literally, this wreaks havoc. There's something that was in my system that was causing
Yeah.
me not to be me.
Yeah, exactly.
And they couldn't get in on that.
They-
I was
they
the
didn't
issue.
know.
I was the issue.
Yep, you became
Not the
issue.
thing that was, it's insane.
Because they don't know how to cure it, they can't put their finger on it, so you become the issue.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
You just
I have a
hit-
lot of patients that like that they become the issue.
It's so sad.
And they stay sick, you know?
It's so sad. No wonder so many actually lead to throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
Because it's really unfortunate that it's not only not becoming a solution, it's magnifying the issue.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I hope you can deliver to your groups and your people with Lyme that there's a solution. I
Mm.
hope they believe you,
Okay.
because
Yes.
they've been taught not to
Right.
believe it could be curable. So
Wow.
I hope you can make them understand. At least a handful of people is better than none.
Right.
They
Right.
have to know that, you know, because they can tell other people that they're being helped.
So you talked about everything up to this point being fairly straightforward,
Yeah.
easy to deal with. What about this one? What is your experience with this one?
As
Not
far as
knocking
Lyme,
out the
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes 9 months, sometimes a year, sometimes 3 months. You'll take the medicine from 3 to 6 months. After 6 months, we'll scan you again.
Wow.
That's
Just
it.
another scan.
It's as easy as that.
Wow.
At least you're in the beginning of getting well.
Right.
I mean, you have the choice. You could keep that in your nervous system, get worse, or let's get well.
Right.
So you'll get Borrelia burgdorferi. You will get that medicine. That's what it's called.
Okay. I'd be really excited to see what you come up with.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have your medicines here next Wednesday
Okay.
or Monday, whenever I'm rescheduled.
Okay.
And you come get them. We'll
Awesome.
start you. I'll explain them to you, and we'll start you. And that's it.
Dr. Berni, you're breathing light and hope into my life. I imagine it would to so many out there, and not just ones struggling with Lyme. Anyone, I mean, others struggling with depression and or any other issue. Once again, stop fulfilling the definition of insanity and try something new.
Yeah,
right?
right.
What is
Try
it gonna
something new.
What is it gonna hurt?
Yeah, I mean, if you keep going to your Western medicine doctor and
Right.
and they're not curing you, and you're just taking a bunch of meds and getting worse, it's like,
Right.
when are you going to smarten up? When are you going to? You're
Right.
enlightened now. What's the deal? You know?
And that's what turned me on to Unchained Wellness here. This amazing clinic, and as to what all has been brought in here, there's a reason why the cold plunge,
Yeah.
the infrared sauna, the hyperbaric oxygen treatment, the red light therapy, the IVs. I forget what that machine is in the back there.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that seems really high tech, but there's a reason why a lot of that protocol and those things are trending, because they're
Yes.
helping people.
Yep, and they are trending. Yep, this is the wave of the future.
Right.
It really is.
Solution based.
I think the hyperbaric has something in there about Borrelia burgdorferi, and
Wow.
if it does, you need
Right.
to get in there.
Right.
That's it.
Well, this is a nice encounter. It's not every day that patients get to spend this much time
No.
with their doctor and actually
Never,
sit
never
down.
happened. Never happened.
Right. So Unchained Wellness, sign me up. You know that you guys are doing it right.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we try. All right, so
Awesome.
you're done.
All right.
You're
Wow. Dr. Berni's something else, isn't she? Special. Can't you tell? She's in it for the right reasons. She wants to see us all well. She clearly has a lot to say about Western medicine. It's clear that it's gotten away from our best interest at heart, that it's been corrupted. I'd say it's beyond just business. It's been money over lives. Heck, I'll be unmuzzled and say that even some of it is designed to make us sicker. But there's light, there's hope. With doctors like this, with clinics like this, let's go. Be sure to call Unchained Wellness today and hear it, feel it for yourself. Let them know Unmuzzled Chat sent you, that you heard about them through this podcast. Golly, it's getting late. I need to wrap this up. All right, last little segment. I just want to leave you with some of the conversation I had with Mason, the owner. Enjoy this last clip.
Mason, you're freaking awesome. You've been really gracious with your time. You've obviously created a top of the line facility here. Grateful for all you're doing. Why Unchained Wellness? Why this business?
That's a great question, and I've answered it lots of different times. And it comes down to the fact that my wife and I believe that we are chained down medically to prescriptions and the pharmaceutical companies, truthfully. Part of my why is my father-in-law was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma cancer. And he went to, and this is 10 years ago, but he went to his oncologist, and they said, well, we do chemo and radiation, and this is what we do. This is the only path. And then he did a ton of other research. So he went to other clinics, and he went to a couple of naturopathic places, and he really looked at all the numbers that they gave him. By far, the worst outcome by numbers was radiation and chemo.
Oh, no kidding.
In terms of what he was facing, and for his numbers, like his quality of life, for his longevity, for like everything that he was looking for in the next 20 to 30 years that he was planning on being alive, that was not a solution for him. So he went to Dr. Murphy and Dr. Lodi. It's called AZ Good Health now, but at the time it was called Oasis, I think, Cancer Healing or Oasis Centers or something. So he basically cured his cancer through alternative methods. And they say alternative, but really it's just what we've had for thousands of years, which is vitamin C, cleaning up your diet. And he just did a juice fast for 6 months. He did coffee enemas. He detoxed himself. He just gave his body all of the necessary ingredients to heal itself.
The things it needs.
Yeah, and pulled out everything that was causing problems.
Right.
Bad oils,
Gosh.
sugars, complex carbohydrates, processed foods, horrible diet stuff, like just, your unhealthy fats. You just strip all the way things and you just focus on what your body essentially needs, and it can heal itself. So part of the why is we wanted to provide a space for people that are suffering from behavioral health issues and chronic illnesses to find some answers. Some different answers to their health concerns.
Wow.
If you go to a traditional doctor, they're going to say the same thing every doctor. They'll only have so many tools in the tool chest.
I'm going to get cozy because we don't mess around here.
That's right. No, let's get cozy.
And I can lean back because that is a breath of fresh air. Because Western medicine would not spend the time that like you spend and your staff spends, as I've seen, with people that walk through your door. Like Western medicine, you're dealing with some type of office assistant, and then a doctor's just popping in, popping out, writing up scripts.
Yeah.
Not getting to know you on any level.
Zero level.
So many of them won't even ask, what are you putting in your mouth?
Yeah.
You're looking in on even the deeper levels. Like you pretty much from the tests you're doing know what people are putting in their mouths.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to hear that you've got the doctors and then the nutritionists and everything to help assist with the findings and everything. That's incredible.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that. I think we have a great, unique clinic here that can provide people that are lost, people that don't have answers, people that are frustrated with their health and have no answers and are just living kind of a status quo of like, I'm just getting by barely.
Right.
Give them some hope. Give them some places to where like, hey, I really don't want to be on antidepressants the rest of my life. I'd really like to figure this out.
Yes.
Well, there's solutions.
Yes.
And it's not one size fits all. We look at your gut health. We look at your neurotransmitter production. We look at your methylation test and your genetic test.
Mm-hmm.
We provide stimulation to your brain through the TMS and the theta chamber. There's lots of different ways to approach health issues based on their individual inputs.
Wow.
That's our big why. Is we want to unchain people from the typical Western medical block.
Really cool.
Yeah. We're excited about it. We've helped hundreds of people so far, and we hope to help many, many, many more people. The other great thing about this is we're kind of also a med spa. So you don't have to be ill to come here. If you want to feel better on like just a general basis, we have a cold plunge. It's phenomenal to boost energy and make you feel good, recover from injuries, recover from a long hike.
Right.
We have an infrared sauna that makes you feel good. We've got an IV therapy that just is good practice to rehydrate your body every quarter, every month. We've got memberships. So if you wanted to take advantage of the med spa and have an IV, we have a membership that gets you in here regularly. You can use it. And then we have a la carte pricing if you want to just kind of pick and choose what you want to do. We also have program and packages. So if you want to do 16 theta chambers, we got a package for that.
Cool.
We do accept insurance for some things.
Okay.
So if you're diagnosed with depression from a psychiatrist, and we have a psychiatric nurse practitioner on staff. We also have a medical director. We have Dr. Berni, who's a PhD in homeopathic medicines. We're geared up to handle a lot of different things.
Cool.
I am, I'm a son or daughter of a Heavenly Father of God. Then we have more of a responsibility. If we know who we are, then we kind of know that we come from divinity.
Wow.
Then we have a higher expectation of ourselves.
Wow.
Which then can lead to better decisions.
That just shows the integrity behind this company right there. I can sit across from the owner and you bring God into the discussion, in truth, in light. And a lot of people shy away from that these days, especially in business. I feel personally that is to be celebrated and that is to be supported. I applaud you for taking that stance. And I believe a lot of our listeners will support that as well.
Great. Well, again, man, it was awesome talking to you.
It was my pleasure. Mason, it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
More to come.
Wow. What else is there to be said? What an amazing man. What an amazing team they've put together there. You should meet his wife. Incredible. They have huge hearts. Now, I truly want to set down all the other affiliations. As much as we need people to support those affiliations, as much as we need people to support this podcast financially, to keep the lights on and continue, I really want to set that down, because more important than that, the real meaning behind kicking this podcast off is to help others any way we're able, whether it's giving them a voice, whether it's giving them solutions, whether it's riding the ship in this crazy world we live in, protecting ourselves, directing ourselves to the why we're here and our Creator and our Savior, Jesus Christ. But I believe Unchained Wellness to be a clinic that is going to help a lot of people. Can we please set everything down? And that is the only ask on today's episode, is sending this message out far and wide. And I believe a lot of things were discussed here, that it's irrelevant whether if these individuals live in this state or not. Many could benefit from the conversations that were had. Is it possible that through even sending it to someone you know, they're going to send it to someone that it will breathe light into their life? You just never know. It's time for action in this country. And it's time we take our lives serious. We appreciate all your efforts and all that you're able to do on getting this message out. God bless you. God bless America. Till next time, take care.